You liking the lake, bud? There's a CN Tower. Hey, Eddie. There's a dog over there on the beach. I don't think Eddie would want to be that close to the beach right now.
Hi everyone, it's Ann at Martin House Flowers. I'm back in Toronto and just wanted to share with you our daily morning walks by the lake. This is Lake Ontario and we're just across from my parents' condo. They live in one of the oldest condos on the lakeshore, and I believe it was built in the late 70s, early 80s, and fairly new around my parents' building are these beautiful, I would call them luxury condos. And believe it or not, I almost bought one of these condos before buying my house out in Schaumburg, which is about 45 minutes north of the city in King Township. We call horse country. But my parents have owned their building down here for over 40 years, and this lakeshore area has just been built up in the last 20 years, I would say. And I always love these little gardens that they've created, and of course the beautiful lakeshore that's been built up. And there's a really long bike path and running path, and just down the street there's a lot of amenities like multiple restaurants, a wonderful sushi place that we often take my mom to. We used to take my dad there too. But yeah, I'm back here again on one of my monthly trips back to the city to visit my dad and my mom, of course, and I'm happy to report that my dad is doing much better. Thank you for all the prayers and all the good thoughts. This is a beautiful iron arch made of butterflies, designed with butterflies, and I just love it. Absolutely love it. I think Greg took a picture of my mom and I in front of it the other day when we went down to the sushi place. But this morning it's just Eddie and I going for a walk, and we did venture down to the lake after admiring this beautiful arch. When my dad first bought his condo, he's had a few different units in this condominium. It was the only building right at the tip of the pier at Lakeshore here. Can you believe that? None of this existed when he first bought his first condo at the Palace Pier. And now it is a little city in itself, So many people, so many dogs. Eddie just loves coming down for his daily walks. And this morning he met a cockapoo named Simba. She was so sweet, and they absolutely loved each other. We hung out for a few minutes, had a nice conversation, and then went on our way. I've always loved these main floor condominiums with their little porches, patios, miniature gardens. And at the corner here, I noticed that there was a stone award monument for this little garden at the corner here. And it's full of hydrangeas and perennials and shrubs. There's the monument there from the city of Toronto. It won first prize for, I think, this area or this condominium. And it's got a beautiful corner unit. Look at those beautiful standard PG hydrangea trees. I wonder if those are limelights. I think they might be. But as you can see here, it's been warming up. No signs of spring tulips or bulbs yet, but this area is right across the street from my parents' condo, and I always like this little courtyard that we sometimes walk through on the way to some restaurants just down the street from my parents' place. But I just love what they've done to this area. So I'll just take a little peek through this courtyard. Isn't that pretty? These little stone walls in this area here. There's a lot of signs that say keep dogs off the grass. I can see why. But we walk through there often when we cut through. But we thought we'd turn around. We had a nice long walk along the lake. Time to go home. This is Eddie's favorite spot at my parents' place. There's a sculpture I gave my mom for her garden many years ago. And this is the view from her condominium unit. She's on the 4th floor now. She used to be on the 21st floor. But there's that building that I showed you the little garden of, and they have a bus that picks them up to go places. But there's Eddie, all rested now. Well, we're back in Illinois. Back in northern Illinois, Zone 5B, home of spring. Spring arrived officially yesterday, and we did arrive back home just in time just to find out that, yes, the forsythia that you see here is starting to bloom out, little buds, and the lilacs, the bloomerang lilacs, also have buds on them, which is so exciting. The red bud, this rising sun red bud, not seeing too many signs of spring yet, but look at those daffodils. They're starting to sprout out, which is exciting. Penstemon in the back there looks a little bit scorched. And let's take a walk. Eddie had to put his spring coat back on, his working jacket. So we're heading down the cut flower beds, and I wanted to take a look at the beds that I planted in my last video of direct sowing some seeds. We planted, let's see, we sowed some black-eyed Susans, some bachelor's buttons, a number of things. But look at this, the raised kitchen garden bed, tulips that were planted a year ago in February. they're starting to pop up. And I had to pull up these obelisks. We've had crazy stormy weather. You can see the stakes have all been disheveled, and the top finial there broke off again. Poor Greg has to strengthen it again. Our weather station is twirling around crazy, and those sweet peas, no signs of anything there yet, or the lettuce. But look at the snow that had accumulated just in the last 24 hours. I'm not seeing much yet in my winter sowing jugs, but I wanted to take a look nevertheless. Eddie's so happy to be home. A look at the ice that accumulated on the patio. Apparently, the day we left, it was 74 degrees Fahrenheit, high 20s Celsius, and then we got some snow, 3.5 inches of snow a few days ago, and then it snowed again yesterday. So I'm taking a look in the greenhouse for the first time, and as you recall, if you saw my last videos, my snapdragons have been in here for about a week and a half. My sweet peas are all looking healthy. There's the snapdragons, all looking really good. But darn it, the peppers at the back there, the jalapeno peppers, they look like they froze. Look at that. Oh, I'm going to have to start those over. And I think those are salvia in the corner. Going a little quickly here, and snapdragons, different stages of snapdragons that were sowed within 2 weeks of each other. So these are the containers that I will be planting out my sweet peas in, and I also planted some tulips in there. I'm just looking to see if anything came up. These are the little mini grape hyacinths, and those white ones in the back had regular size hyacinths, and nothing seems to be coming up. I don't think I'm going to be doing regular hyacinths in the future. They just seemed to be a little disappointing this year. I forced some in those clear glass bottles where you have the roots sitting in water, and they did bloom, but they were really small blooms. There's tulips in one of those, and this ivy, I'm not sure that it's alive, quite honestly. A few more forced bulbs, mini grape hyacinths. That ivy again, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's really strange that only one of the 3 containers with obelisks have tulips popping up. Hopefully the other 2 have some later blooming tulips. Can you hear that wind howling? It's a really windy day again. I moved those basil and chives plants into that window box. So inside, these seedlings were left indoors under grow lights, and my stepdaughter came once in the 5 days we were away to water. The Dusty Miller is looking really healthy, a nice rich green. There's just a couple of the soil blocks that didn't germinate. Those are the ones in the blue tray, were the yarrow, more petunias, and the strawberries in the middle there. And these black trays, these 36 cell trays, are filled with pansies with very spotty germination. And that last one there have celosia in soil blocks. And that strawberry holder had the ageratum. These trays had humidity domes on top of them for the last week, and I just removed the humidity domes last night and got some decent germination, as you can see, with the celosia. I wanted to show this arrangement again because if you did catch my video where I made this arrangement with faux florals, I did also mix the real dried Crispidia in here. from my Valentine's arrangement, and I'm wondering if you can tell. The natural Crispidia have the brown stems, and then the fake ones have the green. Oh, it looks like I am back in the guest room grow lights, and I'm showing off my asters, tray of asters. I took the dome off because I saw some germination there. There's a lot that didn't germinate, and I did soak the seeds overnight. Those are lupins. I ran out of trays, so I just put them in these mushroom containers, and look at the germination on the lupins. I'm so excited. Super rich, thick green, but the feverfew, not so much. I have a feeling feverfew is going to be a tough one for me to see germination on. That's some ageratum right there, getting lots of germination, and more lupins in the back. So all of these had humidity domes on them over the past week. And these are a tray of different carnations, which got some really good germination. Really happy with those. And then there's a few rows there of the cosmos. This is the old yarrow that I had sown several weeks ago. So here I am back in the greenhouse, the day after the first day of spring. And as you can hear, the wind is just howling out there. Not a great day to be in the garden because of the wind. So we're sheltered in the greenhouse. I did want to show you the progress of some of my other pansies that I did bring out to the greenhouse in the last week. And my neighbor Dee was so kind as to come in here and water. I'm not sure if she came once or twice, but I taught her how to water in the bottom tray, and she did a fantastic job. I wanted to turn the camera around and show you. I had this little recycled takeout container that I just broadcast some seed of the okay, I'm drawing a blank. It's that stuff we use for tea. Not feverfew, but it'll come to me. Anyway, let's take a look at it. And it's amazing because I took one little container that was about 4 or 5 inches wide, and I created, gosh, hundreds of plants. You'll see in a second. So let's take a look. Look at all these plants. The ones in the clay pots got a little dry, and they were watered from underneath in the tray here. But I just went into the garage or into my stock of leftover mini pots and just plucked out all the little seedlings and created hundreds of plants. Look at them all. Can you guess what these are? They look like little miniature daisies. I'm having a brain fog right now. They're not feverfew. We turn them into tea, and I'm going to see if they turn into some nice cut flowers. So these pansies over here are doing much better. Violas. This is archway ruby. Just pulled out the tag. Let's not kill the root, Anne. And these ones on this side, gosh, I don't know what they are, but they're so much tinier. These are Viola wine lata. I showed you earlier another tray. Oh, there's my basket. And what is it? Do we remember? It's chamomile. I've been away from the greenhouse for a few days and I can't remember my plant names. Let's go rescue that basket out there. So I hope you enjoyed this short little video of all of my seedlings, the updates, and I will end the video with just a little bit of a walk through the front garden, our south garden, on this first or second day of spring. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope you guys are enjoying this nice spring weather. There's another obelisk down. As you can see, Greg has 4 stakes, one in each corner, and the winds have been so strong. I really hope that hydrangea didn't get damaged. I need to come in here and move some of these pulmonaria, these 3. When I planted them last spring, I couldn't tell how far they were from the hostas because I had cut the hostas down so far, but now I know where they're at. So I want to move them forward to here, but I need to bring out this bed another foot at least. So that's something to do. What have we got growing in here? We've got some bulbs coming up. At the front walkway, you can see my tulips are coming up. Kiss Me Kate Rose that I pruned. And as you can see, the wind has really kind of, I don't know, these boxwoods aren't looking too healthy. They are green on the inside. I'm going to give them a water and see what happens. When the weather gets a little bit warmer, I'm going to paint that front door and hang that basket arrangement. But look at all the tulips coming up. And daffodils. These Skyview hydrangeas are debatable. They're not looking really healthy. My roses, I can see the daffodils looking really good in between the lavender. I can't remember what I planted in between here. Planted something in between. Did I plant some grape hyacinths? I don't remember, honestly. Wow, what did I plant in between there? Eden is looking really red, which is a sign of healthy canes. Sorry, the bell or harbor is super loud.
All my bulbs are coming up over here. I'm so excited. In a couple weeks, I'm going to come and cut back my bobo hydrangeas here, the lavender, the next warm day. These are little limes, more lavender. Quick fire hydrangeas. Oh, some bulbs. And the quick fire fabs. Let's take a look. Finally, some tulips coming in between. There's a sign of one. I did clumps of 5 or 7 in between the quick fire fabs, so there's some right there. Oh, signs of life with the poet's wife. Okay, Eddie, let's say goodbye. Eddie, say goodbye.